going on, Cowboy Nation? It's Coach CG here, and I want to say welcome to the Timeout Breakdown. We do weekly breakdowns of Cowboy news. We don't have long sessions because we know that there's a sector of Cowboy fans who are very busy and they don't have the 30 minutes to an hour to sit in front of a computer to get their news. And that's what I'm here for. Here to give you your daily dosage of Cowboy news, weekly dosage of Cowboy news, monthly dosage of Cowboy news when it comes out in a way where you can get this information on your break. First thing we want to do is rest in peace to Mashawn Nealon. A moment of silence for him, his family, and to those who've lost their life to suicide. Rest in heaven, King. Look, this is for anybody who feels alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. We are a family. We are a community. Reach out, ask for help. Ask for what you need and live in your purpose while you're here making a difference to those that are in your world. Now, I'm not here to preach to you, not today. So we're going to get to that Cowboy news, but we had to address first things first, right? So, yes. Now, during this week, the trade deadline was Tuesday. During the trade deadline, your Cowboys made a couple of trades that will impact the defense and help a very porous defense, to say the least, right? And the Cowboys put Flus in a situation where he's going to have to show and prove now. Yeah, at first, it was a talent issue. And no, we didn't address all of the spots where there were talent issues, but we did address some major needs that will cause ripple effect and what I would think is going to help the rest of the defense play well. While there's only 32 teams, listen, our defense is probably ranked 35, 36, somewhere in that area where, it is bad. We're worse than some second teams. And, I coach high school football, and trust me, I've seen better defense played on the high school level, even youth level. So, Flus, listen, I'm not calling for your job. I'll never call for a man's job. But now you have to get it together. Who did we trade for? Great question. I'm glad you asked. The first trade was Logan Wilson. We're going to actually talk about Logan second. And there's a reason why. Logan Wilson is a linebacker from Cincinnati Bengals. Seen a lot of fans say, oh, wow, you have the 31st ranked defense in the NFL, and you go and get a player from an even worse defense than yours. What difference can he make? I'm going to address Logan Wilson trade after I talk about Quinnen Williams. Why is Quinnen Williams so important? Quinnen Williams is a game changer. Quinnen Williams, for those who are like me and can't fathom why we would get rid of a Micah Parsons, Quinnen Williams is an interior version of Micah Parsons by the way that he affects the game. Now, here's the thing, though. Quinnen Williams has worked on his run defense, and he's affecting the run at a higher clip than he's ever had in his career so far in this season. He's from the Jets. Anybody who's familiar with the Jets, White Cotton, who's our defensive line coach, came over from the New York Jets. So he's paired back up with Quinnen Williams, and Solomon Thomas also came from the Jets as well. So they're all reunited together. Quinnen Williams will come down, and he could play that zero. He could play that one. He's really a very mobile interior lineman, so he could really play that 3-tech as well. He could play all the way inside interior and anywhere on that interior and make a difference in the game. And that's what we're going to be looking for from him, is for him to make that difference. Now, bringing in Quinnen Williams, what are we going to do with Kenny and Osa? That allows Kenny to be freed up. And Kenny, more than likely, what we would or should see is Quinnen Williams playing side by side with Kenny, right? And now who do you double team? Who do you double team when Quinnen Williams' win rate on double teams is the highest in the league. Second highest is Osa. Here's what we're going to do with Osa. Osa is more than likely going to play that 4-eye version. And all three of them are going to be on the field together. They also will be rotating, of course. But you'll see a lot of packages. As of late, we've been doing a five down linemen. So with those 5 down linemen, you'll see those 3 come in and work anywhere from, like I said, that 4-eye all the way over to that 3. And what you'll see is we'll be bringing down the rookie, 41. We'll bring him down alongside Jadeveon Clowney. And that's going to be that 5 look. It'll really be more of a 3-3 stack. What does that mean for our defense? That pressure is going to collapse the inside of the pocket, which will give the DBs less time they have to be in coverage. So our pass defense should be a lot better than what it has been. We should see improvement there. Should we be number 1 in the league? No. Why? Because Flus is comfortable running zone, and we have DBs that's comfortable in man. But they should be more comfortable with walking up and playing a little tighter in their zone versus playing 10 yards back and making sure nothing goes over top of them. Why? Because those routes won't have as much time to develop. Now, with that, our run defense is very bad. It's off tackle bad more so than it is up the A-gap, right? But what happens when you bring a Quinnen in and you bring Kenny and you bump Osa out, what happens is now, though, from tackle to tackle, the inside is going to collapse. It's going to collapse from the inside, and you'll be able to fold those tackles inside, allowing your linebackers to flow. Now we need better linebacker play, right? We need linebackers to be able to scrape over, get around blocks, process things fast, and move on the hustle. And that's where Logan Wilson comes into play. Logan Wilson's play has not been declining. He's been benched because of politics. He's requested a trade. If you look at the Bengals, they have linebackers playing in front of him that are not as good as him. Logan Wilson is coming over knowing how to play zone, being a good coverage linebacker. Sorry to say it, but Mr. K9, we're moving you from the field to the bench, okay? With that trade, K9, that's number 59, he'll be on the bench. You'll see a little less of Maris Leofile as well as the 50, our young buck. He'll come in and he'll get his share of snaps because he's athletic. He's a fast guy. You get him going forward on the pass blitzes, pass rush. He can affect the game in that way. But Agent Zero is returning. Agent Zero will be playing against the Raiders. This week is our bye week, so we won't get to see it put all together. But our second level is going to look much different with Logan Wilson and with Overshown coming in. With those two at our linebacker, you have that 5-2 look with a 5 down, 2 up, and now you can bring more DBs and keeping those DBs in pass rush. Guess what? That helps. Not pass rush, but keeping those DBs back in pass defense and pass protection. Once those wide receivers release, we'll have a little bit more way of muddying that backfield up where people are not running wide open. So it should be fun. And we should see a lot more disguises going on where they're playing cat and mouse, where, hey, if we took a guy off the field or brought a guy down in the box, you were going to pass. If we kept that cloud coverage, you were going to run. Now Flus should be able to get into whatever bag that he has. I'm not a fan of Flus. Can't lie. Won't hide it. But whatever bag he has, we'll see. So now Flus is on the clock. Because Flus got to be able to show us he can improve this overall defense. So we could go from being porous to below average. You know how you had a class you struggled with, and you might have struggled in calculus, right? You're in calculus, and it's like, look, you might have A's and B's on your report card in every other class. But it's this one thing that you struggled with. And if you could get this F to go to a D plus, a C minus, you're saving your GPA from falling and flunking. If we can get that defense to play like that, we might see a special run by the Cowboys. One very similar to when we brought in Amari Cooper. I don't want to get your hopes up. I'm not here to hype you up. I'm here to give you some real football talk, a real Cowboys breakdown. We should see that. In this bye week, what should you see? You see us reset. The players reset, get their mind off of their performance over the last couple of weeks. The coaches regroup, bring this thing back together, reshape and retool a team that's ready to focus. These trades does not give us Super Bowl aspirations. Let's calm that down. Anybody telling you we're going to win the Super Bowl because we got Quentin Williams and Logan Wilson, they're lying to you. I'm not here to lie to you. I'm here to give you quality content. We're not going to win the Super Bowl. It's not what's going to happen. But our team is going to improve. It gives us a head start on what we will be expecting the team to do in the offseason. What does your draft look like? You got 2 first rounders. You got Quentin Williams as your second round. You have GP3 as your third round. It's a win if you get these 2 impact players in the first round. We're not going to talk draft talk, but listen, this trade was a head start into the offseason. It wasn't for us to win the Super Bowl. We will improve. We'll get to talk trash. We'll get to beat up on the Washington Wizards football team, as Vach would like to call them. Or we get to beat up on the Little Giants, right? We get to beat up on the lower level teams. We might make a playoff run, maybe even get a playoff win. But what we won't do is win the Super Bowl. If we win the Super Bowl, listen, it's totally unexpected. And some miracles are going to have to happen. But, hey, look, the timeout is over with. And the break is up. Again, this is Cowboy content with quality time spent. It's been your boy, Coach CG. See you next time.